in, come on in. I'm Mr. Wamsted. This is my house. Well, hello, 8th grade math. I didn't realize it was time for class yet. It's so good to see you. Today, we are going to take, it's not really a quiz in so much as it's not a grade, but it is an excellent review of everything we've learned, all right? So I'm going to switch over to a PowerPoint and I'm going to talk you through some things. And I'm going to ask questions and you're going to answer them in your mind, all right? It's just what we did in class. If you missed class, you can catch up. And after you answer them in your mind, I will tell you the right answer. So let me share my screen. All right. So here's our first question. Remember our donut R from that old video. Question number 1, what is the coordinate of that blue dot on the arm of the R? Again, what is the coordinate of that blue dot on the arm of the R? If you said 6, 2, you're correct, because you go over 6 on the x-axis and up 2 on the y-axis. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, let's move on. Question number 2, which transformation has happened to the R? To take it from where it was to where it is. Is it A, translation, B, dilation, C, rotation, or D, reflection? And hopefully you said translation. That's right, a translation is just a slide or a shift, but the shape doesn't change direction or orientation or size. All right, let's move on to question 3. Well, now that we've translated it, what are the new coordinates of the new blue dot? What are the new coordinates of the new blue dot? Where is this new blue dot? The old blue dot has been translated to the left and down. What are the new coordinates? And if you said -3, 0, you are correct. Sometimes we get tripped up when the coordinates are on the axis. -3 because you went back 3 from the origin, 0 because you didn't go up or down at all. Let's go on to question number 4. These figures that have been translated are similar, congruent, or neither. We just learned these words. Are they similar, congruent, or neither? And that's right, they're congruent. They are the same size and shape. All right. Let's move on to question number 5. Which transformation has happened to my donut R now? Notice the blue dot went away. Which transformation has happened? Is it A, translation, B, dilation, C, rotation, or D, reflection? I hope you see it that and immediately say, I know what that is. It's got to be a reflection. Yes, that R has been, let me see if I can do this, has been reflected, all right? It's been flipped over the x-axis. I hope you said x-axis. Let's go on to my next question. Question number 6. These figures are A, similar, B, congruent, or C, neither. If you said B, congruent, you're correct. They're still the same size and shape. This is a little tricky with congruent. I know that thing at the bottom doesn't look like an R anymore because it's been flipped, but it's still the same size and same shape, even if its direction is all messed up. All right. Question number 7. Which transformation has happened to my donut R now? Is it A, translation, B, dilation, C, rotation, or D, reflection? I hope, and this is hard to see, but I hope you can see that it is a C, rotation. That object has been spun like this, all right? It's been spun like this. That's hard to see, all right? Notice that my little arm of the R used to go this way, and when it gets spun, now it's going the exact opposite way this way. It used to go down to the right, now it's going up to the left. In your head, how much has it been rotated? 90 degrees, 180 degrees, or 270 degrees? It's not a question, but I hope you said 180 degrees. It's completely upside down. All right, let's go on to our next question. I can't remember how many questions there are. Question number 8, these figures are A, similar, B, congruent, or C, neither. I hope based on the answer to our last question that you immediately said they're B, congruent. They're the same size and shape, even if they're facing different directions. All right? I hope you said that. Question number 9. Which transformation has happened to the R? Is it A, translation, B, dilation, C, rotation, or D, reflection? And I hope you look at it and you say, I know what that is. That is a, correct. It's a reflection. It's been reflected across the Y axis this time. It's been reflected across the Y axis this time. All right, and you know what question's coming next. These figures are A, similar, B, congruent, or C, neither. Of course, it's congruent. They're the same size and shape, even if they're facing different directions. I think we're almost done. Oh, question number 11. Which transformation has happened to the R's? All right, this R right here, and this R right here, and this R right here. Were they A, translated, B, dilated, C, rotated, or D, reflected? I hope you know that they have been dilated. It's a dilation. This R got dilated, it got twice as big or 3 times as big to get to this R, and this R got dilated, it got half as big or maybe a 1/4 as big to get to that R. And you know what question's coming next, I think. These figures are A, similar, B, congruent, C, neither. You know they're not congruent because they're not the same size. Are they similar or neither? I hope you finally said A, similar, because they're the same shape, but a different size. Same shape, different size. That's what similar means. I think I got one more question. One last question. These figures are A, similar, B, congruent, or C, neither. They're not congruent. They're not congruent. Let's just do this real quick. They're not congruent. Let's eliminate congruent just real quick while we're talking about this. They're not congruent because they're not the same shape at all. And these aren't similar because they're not the same shape or size or anything. All right? But here's a question. Are these similar? The answer is no, they're not similar. All right? But that trips people up sometimes because you immediately say, yeah, Wamsted, I get it. This is not similar because it's a D, and this is not similar because it's a Z. But what about this? This and this are similar. They're kind of the same. They're both R's, but that's not what similar means in math. Similar doesn't just mean the same letter. It means the same shape. And from a shape point of view, these R's are very different, aren't they? This R's got the little points on the side. It's got a much skinnier middle. It's got that real curvy flare. And this R is more of like blocks and straight one curve, all right? It's not about what's inside the R. It's not about the flowers or the donut. It's about that this R is a totally different font than this R. That's why the answer is neither. And y'all, you did an amazing job with that quiz, I think. I don't know. I hope you did an amazing job. All right, I think that's about it for our quiz. I think we can get us out of here right about now. Oh, hello again. I really hope you did okay on that quiz. Really just a review of all the things we've learned. And I've got great news. This is the end of our unit about the 4 transformations: translation, reflection, rotation, dilation. I hope you learned a lot, and I look forward to seeing you next unit. Y'all have a great weekend.